right, everyone, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
All right, and we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, burns, shopping list, favorite movies, favorite TV shows, whatever you want to say. Just tag at Star City Games so we can make Rob read all of it. You know, just tag him in every of your Monday day stuff. Like, let him know what you ate for breakfast. You know, just really anything. Let Rob know. He'll send his favorites over to us, and we'll get these questions answered for you.
I had leftover latkes from last night.
Hey, type it in chat, man. Take Rob.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Star City Games, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm glad you got it. So what we are going to be doing here is playing in preparation for what we wanted to do for a team open. Something that we haven't been able to just test for a tournament on Versus Live, and it's something I think we're very much missing. It's nothing like trying to predict what the SCG grinders are going to bring to a metagame and see if we can kind of nail it or if we're super off on it. But we basically both picked the list that we would be comfortable playing in Standard, Pioneer, and Modern, and see, you know, if we would have been right, if, of course, we would get to play these events.
Fingers crossed, maybe in the next 6 months.
Let's hope so. I want to play it open so bad. I miss the SCG Open series. I miss seeing everyone. I miss battling. But anyways, we are moving on to Pioneer here, which is a format that I would say I am the least, knowledgeable in our three formats. I've been loving Modern. Modern's been my favorite format for the last 2 months or so.
Yeah.
And then Arena is my favorite client. So I play a lot of Standard as well. Pioneer's kind of in that middle shift for me, but it looks extremely healthy, and it looks pretty fun. I know you've been playing it a decent amount on stream.
Yeah, I've been playing mostly Pioneer and Modern, so I'd say Standard is the one that I've been following the least of the three.
Yep.
Of the two, Pioneer and Modern, Pioneer's the one I've had easily the least success in.
Mm-hmm.
I've not been doing a lot of winning in Pioneer, so
Yeah.
I've sort of been, because I've been trying to play my normal aggressive strategies, and they have been working that well. And I probably should have just playing Orzhov Auras the entire time.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to a point where there's a lot of hate for Orzhov Auras in the metagame. A lot of the name keeps escaping me, but the new 2 and a green instant exile up to 3 enchantments.
Oh yeah.
Cycling for 2. People are sideboarding that card. And
Barrier Breach.
There we go. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
That are really targeting the Auras deck. We're seeing more Supreme Verdicts and things. And decks like what I'm playing, which is Yorion with Heliod Ballista, incorporating the blue splash that we saw in White Devotion decks before Ikoria.
Yeah. For just like Teferi, a small amount of splash.
It used to be Teferi Reflector Mage Spellqueller.
Yeah.
And these lists are actually just down to Teferi Reflector Mage. They're not even quelling, but Reflector Mage is quite good in the Auras matchup, obviously. I think it's pretty easy to just keep them off balance, block a little bit, and just set up a combo because they just have no interaction for it. And this deck is also just really good at grinding. You get a lot of value with your Yorions, Blinking Thraben Inspectors, and Teferis, and even Knight of the White Orchids. When you blink everything, then your Anafenzas end up triggering a bunch, and so you end up having this army of 3/3s instead of 2/2s, which is actually, it doesn't sound like a big upgrade, but it really is.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
It's like adding a free Gavany Township activation on the end of your Yorion.
Yeah.
So
that's speaking my language.
Yeah, this deck does some really cool stuff. And we're going to get to see it in action here.
The one thing I've noticed as far as Pioneer as a trend right now is we are seeing these decks that are trying to go, really big with Yorion and just basically mid-range slogs. And the one way that mid-range has been defeated in the past has been combo decks, right? That is just always the rough thing to deal with. So I looked at one Pioneer event, and it was just 3 Lotus Breach decks in the top 8.
One of the ones last weekend. We've definitely seen a return of Lotus Breach, you're right.
And Lotus Breach is just the Team of Reclamation of Standard. That is the combo deck that's taking advantage of these. I'm in, yeah.
And this is from before that tournament, this list.
Yeah.
This is Kane Reinhardt's list, Source Odin, who's been playing White Devotion for months now, before Yorion.
He's been personally wronged by Lotus Breach, I can tell.
Yes. So, he came prepared. The deck is powerful enough that you don't need you can use the sideboard slots on Breach.
Yeah.
I think, but yeah, this deck historically struggles with that matchup. Maybe you want to even incorporate Queller to help there. That would definitely help. But yeah, Breach has been the most recent development in Pioneer, is the return of Breach to counter these Yorion decks, because the Yorion decks were built to counter the Lyris decks that had been dominant a couple weeks ago. So a pretty similar progression as we've seen in Standard is also happening in Pioneer.
Exactly, and it makes sense. I mean, these companions are just mid-range monsters, and that's all they are. They're incorporating card advantage built into the cards, and that's all mid-range is, like Tireless Tracker Negate, and like Rogue Refiner and stuff like that.
And it's card advantage that does not lose you any tempo. It's not like casting a Tidings. Card we mentioned earlier in the show. This is effectively a Tidings when you blink 4 things and get a lot of value.
With a body.
Yeah. It also just comes with a 4.
So my question for you before we get into this, what's happening to Inverter? Like, where is Inverter going? I haven't seen a ton of it.
Inverter is around still.
Yeah.
There was one in the top 8 of that tournament that you mentioned with all the Lotus Breach. Like, it's there. It's just not as good as it used to be because it's forced to combo more often because its mid-range plan is not as strong.
It was already 45%. Now it's even worse. What are you kidding me?
So I think it's more reliant on its combo than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Because just killing their stuff and casting a dig is not ending games the way it used to.
Yeah, I mean, 1-for-1 removal, hand disruption, just isn't the same with companions. Not being able to Thoughtseize your key card is really bad for that deck. So
in particular, I do think discard spells have gotten significantly worse in a Lyris world.
Yeah.
You just can't ever take the Lyris.
Just a companion world, in my opinion. Yeah. It hits, it can't hit all of them. It's just going to be a little bit worse. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's try it here. I got round 1 in Standard. Let's see if you can get round 2. I'm guessing you're going to go first.
I will.
All right. Oh, yeah. This looks fun. This looks fun. I don't know how great it's going to be, but these are some cards that I haven't played in a long time. How's your hand?
It's not great.
Okay.
I don't think these cards are particularly good. I want to be starting on more stuff. Gideon's Intervention is like kind of cool. I'd probably name Uro, and just stop that from going off. But like this is not really going to do anything early. I think this hand is just too mopey because I really am not getting anything together.
Okay. I'm going to keep. It's it's not insane or anything, but definitely have the lands we need, a decent amount of a couple threats, a little bit of interaction. A very mopey Sultai mid-range hand right here. You can't ask for much more, except a question.
Well, aside from questions, I also got some people's breakfast, what they had for breakfast.
Okay,
so
I'd like to hear it.
I just want to say that Soldier Guardian has my favorite so far.
Okay.
They said, in Brazil, the breakfast varies a lot, but I had 2 slices of bread with some Nutella and warm milk with chocolate powder. That just sounds really good right now.
That does sound good.
I don't know about y'all, but
that does sound good. I actually
Did you griddle the bread? That's my question.
I got a hot take for
We'll
y'all, or just a crazy fact about myself. I hate chocolate, so I do not like Nutella at all.
I'm sorry, Corey.
I know. Isn't that weird? I've just never liked chocolate. I like sweet candies, but not chocolate.
I can't.
We just lost half our viewers. I
just can't fathom a life without chocolate, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It just doesn't compute. Like, my brain it's just like, no.
Hey, Rob.
It's projecting the input.
I'm with you, though. I can't imagine a world where I'd have to actually wear real shoes instead of slip-on sandals. So to each his own,
Okay.
All right, let's battle.
Not a great hand here, but I think definitely better than our 7. We've got some threats here, some card advantage.
All right, I will play a Triumph. Your turn.
Okay, ooh, that's a pretty good draw. I will play an Enofenza Kintree Spirit.
Alrighty.
Pass turn.
I will play a tap land. Pass to you. Doing my mopey mid-range thing. I have a lot of land to go.
Attack for 2.
I will kill that.
Okay, if that is gonna die, then this just isn't doing anything this turn. I think I want to get this Heliod down before you can Thoughtseize it.
Okay.
Pass turn.
Makes sense. That is the one card that has always been really bad for Sultai, is just getting Heliod down when it's not a creature. It's so hard to actually answer. And this is no exception. All right, so we are going to play Nissa, a card I have not played in a long time. Get a forest, and once I get closer to this ultimate, this triggered ability to flip it, I will have to read the other side because I forgot.
It's 3 loyalty Planeswalker.
Yeah.
Okay. You +1, and you get a Coiling Oracle trigger, but if it's a land that enters battlefield, it enters untapped.
Okay.
-2, you get a legendary 4/4.
4/4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And -7, I believe.
Win the game in some way.
Untap up to 6 lands you control. They all become 6/6s.
Okay, gotcha. And this is into my hand, not into
Yes.
play, right? That would be busted.
It is
okay.
a border. Yeah, it's a
Good,
border.
good job, Ross.
Pass to you. You nailed it.
I played a lot of that card when it was
Yeah.
in Standard. I loved it.
That's
Though not
fair.
as much as Michael Majors, who loves that card, I think, more than life itself.
That's impressive.
Random Michael Majors thing. He has one of my favorite wins when he won with that Sphinx's tutelage deck. Just winning with a mill deck in Standard was
Yeah, and
I
the
was at that
story,
Grand Prix.
the story behind it too is just
Yeah.
absurd. Where it just like last minute, it was crazy.
Yeah, he had promised to lend like cards for Absent Aggro to a friend of his,
Yeah,
and thought he was going to be able to get cards from somebody else.
yeah,
And then like that fell through, and then he couldn't get Absent cards, and he put that deck together the night before to play the Grand Prix, and then
Yeah.
just won it.
and then won it. Yeah,
And it was it's in the running for worst decks to ever win a Grand Prix.
it was horrible. It was
Yeah.
so bad.
I think
yeah.
its win rate on Magic Online over the next couple weeks was like 35%, and I don't think a single individual matchup was above 40.
Impressive. Man, I missed some Michael Majors. That's for sure.
And he lost 2 matches. He lost 1 on day 1 and 1 on day 2.
Just impressive. He's the true goat.
Okay, I'm gonna play an Arcanist Owl and
Okay.
turn this Heliod on, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Look at the top 4 cards. I get an artifact or an enchantment, so
Yep.
I guess I'll find the only card I can.
Okay.
So it's like not bad. So in case you have like E to Extinction or Extinction Event here for this Heliod, I've got a backup,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get in for 5.
All right, I'll take it.
You go to 15.
15. I was going to say the one benefit of
That's the turn.
you having Heliod here is the fact that, or you playing a Yorion Heliod deck, is you have a lot less chance of getting a Ballista. You know, just a lot less chance of drawing one. But yeah, just playing that is quite bad for me here. All right, now what do we think we're going to do here?
Your deck is bigger, but you also just draw more cards. So
Yeah.
like I don't know how it plays out, how much effectively bigger your deck is. Because if your
Yeah.
deck is 20 cards bigger, but you see 5 more cards a game,
Is it even bigger?
how does
Yeah.
that change the math? I haven't crunched the numbers yet.
All right. Well, I am going to just play a land tapped. And is that really all I can do here? Well, I think I'm going to try to kill this Arcanist Owl basically anyways.
That seems like a wise thing to do.
Yeah, so we're just going to kill that, take 2, and then you take 2.
So 18 for me, 13 for you.
Yep. All right, your go. Hopefully I'm not dead.
It'd be pretty hard for me to kill you.
Yeah.
No, it's when they get to 6 mana that you're really worried.
Yep, sure.
Okay. Scry with the Temple.
Okay.
That card seems great.
All right. And I'm just looking at the deck list here because I do have wish targets. Make sure I know exactly what I can be taking. Okay.
I was planning on not bouncing your Nissa with a Teferi, and now I kind of do, and then I regret scrying first.
Yep. I haven't gotten any of the effects to put a bunch of cards into my graveyard yet, any Satyr Wayfinder or anything, but that's going to happen for decks.
I'm just going to get my card.
Okay.
I'll give you a card for it, too.
Okay.
You can go.
All right. Untap. Huh. Now, what do I want to do? You can just have a Yorion turn, which is, of course, scary. Not too much I can really do here. Besides just play this to be mana efficient. So let's do that. Atrice?
Yep.
All right, there you go.
Okay. I will... go like that.
Do I want Jace or 2 random cards? Jace seems decent to me. It's not insane. But it really isn't going to get me out of this problem. So I'm going to pick the 2 cards.
Okay. Hope you need more lands.
I kind of did, so that's fine.
I knew you had Forest still and Nissa, so I figured you didn't need more lands. but-
Yeah, so we're going to play Sanctum and pass to you. Yeah, this doesn't feel great so far. I just feel like I am very lucky if I survive every turn.
That is, this is the benefit of this deck.
Yep.
Because it's able to play that mid-range game still, but you're just always scared of dying, and you have to play awkwardly to avoid it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just going to get ECD down on Oracle.
Okay.
This is chapter 1, and then I'll pass the turn.
All right. That's gross. Untap. Now any 3-drop I play gets met with Yorion blinking Elspeth Conquers Death, and that feels bad. So I guess I either tried to play multiple 3-drops or I just played nothing, and I don't think that's a winning strategy, so I guess we're just going to lean into this, which is probably what Ross wants to hear. Yikes. Okay, let's go with Courser. Not a bad draw. It's a little awkward here because I don't really want to search. Let me search. Okay. I'm gonna play Nissa and not search to have the other Nissa in play, and then pass to you. Gain a life from Courser, I guess.
Yeah, so you're 14.
Yep.
Okay, let's draw for turn. This goes to 2.
Yep.
Can start by plussing this.
You know what? I've decided right now, this is a hot take, but I like being on the side of Teferi, Elspeth, Conquers Death, and Yorion and not playing against it. I know this is a hot take here.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That's a magma take there. It's so hot.
I mean, why would you ever want to play with good cards?
It's crazy.
We were just talking about Sphinx's Tutelage won a GP. I mean,
yeah. Why didn't I play with that? I think the worst deck I ever won a tournament with was Jund Dinos. That deck was heinous.
Okay, I think this is just my Yorion turn.
Yeah, it seems excellent.
So I will play that. I will blink to Fairy and Elspeth.
Yep.
Go to end step. This will come back. This will be chapter 1. Definitely going to get rid of this Nissa.
Okay.
More threatening than Courser for sure.
All right. Now you do have Heliod online.
Yeah. So you don't really even have good attacks.
Mm-hmm. So now I really have to deal with Yorion as well. Otherwise, Teferi can just bounce it.
And if you want to play Nissa, it costs 7. Because I do still have the second chapter from the previous ECD.
Totally forgot about that.
Active.
That sucks.
So you won't really be able to do anything on top of Nissa.
Yeah.
And then your Nissa's under immediate pressure because I bounce one thing and you have to chump with the other.
I know, Ross. Okay, well, we have this play, which is pretty strong still. Eat to Extinction, Yorion. So that stuff is done, and it's basically a surveil.
Yeah.
So we'll put this to the graveyard and attack Teferi, and a Breeding Pool tapped. Here you go.
Okay.
Am I dead yet?
Nope.
All right.
Plus this to Fairy.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess, sorry, this is, should be revealed. Yeah, I would have played that land too, so that was bad, but whatever.
Okay. I am going to play Gideon's Intervention on Nissa, who shakes the world.
Good hit.
And then I will, I guess, attack for 5. I don't really think I care if you attack the Teferi for 2.
Okay.
Did you gain a life last turn off this?
I didn't.
Okay, so you should be at 15.
I should be at 15, yep.
I think I'll just attack you to 10.
Okay, down to 10.
And then I'm going to cycle this main phase, just
Okay.
in case I hit a temple. Did not, but pass the turn.
All right. Draw, flip, Overgrown Tomb on top. Not what we want to see. Ugh.
You have how many in hand?
I have 5. So gonna play this.
Shock, but gain 1.
Yeah.
Brings you to 9.
Thank you. Jace on top. I will attack this. And then 8. Just play these, blink this out, and pass to you.
Okay. Draw. This goes 3rd chapter. Let's bring back the owl.
Seems good.
Get a counter on it.
You want to choose loyalty? Loyalty counter?
+1/+1 counter.
All right, smart.
And show you the walking ballista that kills you.
Okay, yep. And I mean, honestly, I never felt in the game, realistically. Like, this is the first where I had a little bit of a bearing to do something, and then maybe eventually I can traverse for Emrakul. But, God, just everything you were doing lines up so well against just a mid-range plan that doesn't have Elspeth Conquers Death. Just Teferi and Elspeth Conquers Death are already absolutely busted cards. Then when you add Yorion, it's just absolutely obscene, you know? So
that's the major sacrifice that this deck makes. There is a Yorion Bant deck in Pioneer right now as well that is just playing fair.
Yeah.
But the fact that they get to play ECD, they also play Big Teferi and Little Teferi.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a lot of good answers to weird permanents.
Yep.
And maybe I thought that Eat to Extinction and Extinction Event might be good enough out of this list.
Yeah.
This is only one game. But yeah, so far it seems like you just kind of struggle to answer Heliod, which is a problem.
And if you didn't hit it, I had the Eat to Extinction. So when you played that, I'm like, yes, I get to take this away. But then you revealed that. I'm like, no. So hopefully the rest of the games can work out a little bit better. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with sideboarding with Sultai Yorion up against Heliod Company Yorion. See you in a sec. All right, everybody, welcome back to Sideboarding here at Versus Live. We are playing Sultai midrange up against Heliod Company, and I'm still debating this last spot. We have so many of these silver bullets in this deck that don't really have huge applications, so I'm taking out those and then really just deciding on my 9th cut here right now. I think Murderous Rider is good enough to keep, and I just love Gonti too much to take that out. We're going to cut 1... Fatal Push because we are bringing in a ton of removal here. So what we're trying to do here, we're taking out some very medium creatures like Ishkana, Ballista, Ooze, Chupacabra. All of these just aren't really good targets for me. I don't really see traversing for any of them. If I want something as far as the Chupacabra range, I'll search for Hostage Taker. It's much better there. You really don't have a good effective graveyard. Ballista, I usually don't ping you. You don't have a lot of 1/1s. Ishkana isn't exactly what I want. And then trimming on some removal for just removal upgrades here. And I'm also bringing in Unmoored Ego to be able to just deal with the combo. I think I'll just rest a lot easier when knowing that I'm going to untap the next turn and you'll have to kill me with combat. Those are the games where I think I can win because then I can just Emrakul you eventually.
Yeah.
And then we go the long distance. So I actually think Ego is going to be great. The Scarabian Genius is going to be pretty good. Better removal spells in the form of Barrier Breach, Noxious Grasp, Heartless Act instead of Decay, Push, and Trial. And then more value creatures, plus a way to deal with Elspeth Conquers Death, and your boat.
Yeah, those seem like good additions. I was just looking through your deck, wondering if you had any way to generate white mana so that you could Gonti into my Helia, then blink it, get my Ballista, and kill me.
Oh, yeah.
But you actually don't have a way to generate white mana.
Yeah. Dang
You're gonna have to fix that.
That's a deck flaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you're not preparing for the cards that you can steal from your opponent with Gonti, you're clearly not thinking enough.
Yeah. On my side, my sideboarding is essentially motivated by the fact that I think Reflector Mage is quite poor in this matchup.
Yeah.
Games are going to go really long. The tempo is, not a big deal.
But damn good against Black-White Auras. Holy,
yes.
That card seems awesome.
Also very good against the Lurrus burn decks. It's not, they're playing a bunch of creatures early. You get to bounce, a Soulscar Mage or something, and then have a blocker for the Gitu Lava Runner.
Yeah.
It's quite good against burn decks. I've always loved it in Modern Humans against burn in that matchup. Just great at stabilizing. So
it's crazy. I haven't seen that card in so long. Be actually good,
Yeah. No, I think it's very good in certain matchups. So certainly worth the spots. Just not good here. And so the Sky Sovereigns and the last Teferi, I think, are great additions. And I'm just trying one Disdainful Stork because I really wanted to get these Reflector Mages out of my deck.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best remaining card because we don't really need more Glass Caskets. Though maybe these are good because you've got all these Trackers and Sages. Yeah, okay. I've convinced myself to change.
Okay.
Let's deal with the 3-drops.
Alrighty. So let's get this ready. Some heavy sideboarding here. I feel like Sultai definitely does this. When you can play 80 cards, you can really lean into that toolbox effect. Otherwise, you just don't have room. You know, you just don't have room in the standard Sultai builds as much as you would like, I feel.
Yeah, you definitely get to utilize Traverse really well in the Yorion build.
Yeah.
And I do think that the Emrakul was a card that I've seen get cut from Sultai lists.
Yeah, they were like in the sideboard now.
Before Korea. Now, with Yorion matchups going really long, the main deck Emrakul is definitely warranted.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that. Okay, Rob, you got any questions for us?
Yeah, first up, what do you think about Fiend Artisan in this Sultai deck, given that you're playing, a Delirium-based graveyard build and as just a toolbox card?
I think it's quite bad. I just don't think you have that many creatures you want to sacrifice to the ability, so I think the ability is pretty poor. And I don't know. You need to do other things to make that card good, and I feel like Sultai is all about raw, powerful cards anyways, so trying to play something that needs help from other stuff to be good is not what I want to be doing in Sultai.
Yeah. I really wouldn't describe this as a graveyard deck, quote-unquote, because that implies a really heavy usage of the graveyard.
Yeah.
And this is pretty light. It's basically just enough to take advantage of Uro, which is already a really powerful card.
Yeah.
Satyr Wayfinder is a fine early play. Helps you make your land drops fix
Good
your
to
mana.
blink.
Yeah, you reasonable card to blink. And then you're playing a couple Grizzly Salvages because you're going up to 80 cards.
Yeah.
60 card lists play like 0 to 1 Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah. Or maybe I've been seeing like two, but two of that, 2 decay is what I was playing anyways before that. But
So really not much in the way of graveyard enabling, and Traverse the Ulvenwald is still a fine early play to set up your mana and is a great top deck late and gives you this small access to a toolbox. But you're not going super far out of your way to make these cards work because they already have a reasonably high floor.
Yeah.
Fiend Artisan has a very low floor, and you really need to put in work to make it good, and this deck just doesn't have interest in putting in that work.
Well said. All right, keep those questions coming in. We're going to get to the game. All right, this hand is already better because I have these graveyard interactions, so I am definitely going to keep this.
This hand is awkward, but if I can find a land in several draw steps, then it is good, so I'm going to keep.
Okay, I will start with a Triome and pass to you.
And there it is.
And bingo.
Still I'm going to start on the Temple this turn.
Okay. Huh. That interesting, huh?
I'm thinking about how this hand is going to curve, and I think I'm not interested in this.
Okay.
I will be sad in a few instances by putting that on the bottom, but...
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to go with a Satyr Wayfinder, something I didn't have the last time. And we did hit. Plus creature enchantment. Instant.
You're one short.
Yeah, one short. And then I'll pass to you.
Jesus. Our lines keep changing based on what we're drawing. But, okay, I'll play an Anafenza.
That's what Magic is. But...
Pass the turn. Every turn I keep drawing a new card. It's really strange.
Wild.
Yeah. See, I'm used to just dredging my draw steps in my graveyard every turn.
Of course. Of course. Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to get another threat into play. Just in case we get to Fairy Bounce, maybe I can attack it down. And Tireless Tracker, I don't get too punished by playing it, and then it dies. I'll probably gain some value from it anyway, so pass to you.
Okay. So you're at 18?
Yep.
Do not have an answer for that tracker.
Woohoo!
So let's attack. This Inoffensive is probably going to be a bad blocker because you're going to be able to play a land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Attack.
Easy take. I will go to 16. Yep.
And get our Heliod.
My favorite card.
Pass.
All right. All right, we're gonna untap, draw. That was a pretty good draw. I think we want to start with that. I will Thoughtseize you.
Okay. I'm glad we got the Heliod down.
Yeah, and of course I drew it afterwards.
Pretty good hand here.
Yeah, this is quite strong. Boat is very scary, of course, but this curve into Arcanist Owl seems way too scary for me. So yeah, let's take that.
So you're going to go to 14. This does complete your Delirium.
Yep.
Sorcery was missing.
Or no, this... Oh,
Right.
yeah, it was missing.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Okay.
Got an enchantment creature, instant sorcery.
Yep. And now we are going to take a peek, see what we can find.
Yeah. Knowing about the boat is pretty nice for Corey because you can aggressively crack clues to get Tracker out of its range.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice to sneak that one through.
Would it have? So I can get like Reclamation Sage to preemptively deal with Sky Sovereign.
Can also get Fabled Passage.
Could get a Hostage Taker. I could get Uro. I could get the Scarabian God. Scarabian God is pretty busted right now. That kind of seems interesting. Yeah, all right. We're gonna pick Scarab God.
Okay.
Now, how aggressive are we gonna want to get? Because you can play both Thraben and then attack with Heliod. Plus, you can pump.
Can make this a 3/3 potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
But not bigger than that.
Okay. I'm gonna play this. Get a clue.
Already had Fabled Passage.
Already had it all. We're gonna sack this.
I know
again.
you have Overgrown Tomb Scarab God in hand.
Yes. I think we can just
5 total?
safely
4.
get a forest here.
Get yourself a second Sam Black.
Second Sam Black. And now the question is, what do I want to attack with? What do I want to leave back? Tracker, realistically, isn't going to do any blocking. So I think I want to get that into play and just attack, sack a clue.
So I go to 16.
Yep. Pass to you.
Now you have 5 in hand, and I know 2.
Yep.
That's mildly interesting.
I don't like mildly interesting.
Doesn't really do a whole lot, to be honest. I think that's going to set us up later.
Okay.
So I'm just going to play my Thrabens. I am going to bolster 1 on Anafenza, 1 onto an Inspector.
Okay. That ability is just awesome right now.
Yeah, I get 2 clues.
Yep.
You're not the only one that can partner with Sam Black.
Yeah,
We all need his help sometimes.
that's true.
Let's get in for 8.
All right, I'm going to block Heliod.
Unsurprised. You go to 11.
Yep.
And I will pass the turn.
Okay. So I got the Scarabian God as a play here, and it's not insanely good. But that boat is really going to cause me some problems. Don't know what other options I really have besides just jamming. If I jam, you go Sky Sovereign, kill Tracker, and then attack. I can block Anafenza, and I take 5, 6, 7, 8. Go down to... Yikes.
Go down to 3.
Yeah, that's not good. So, do we have to try to go for something else here? Probably. Don't think that is a good play right now. So, let's go with... Oh, this feels bad. I think we're just going to Grizzly Salvage. Ugh. Yeah, I think... kind of the best I got right now.
When you're ahead on board and your opponent is casting spells that don't affect the board, you're always happy.
Oh yeah,
Just
that is a fact. Now Hostage Taker is pretty good. It does take Boat or Heliod, but the problem is if I play it, it's just gonna get boated. So we are gonna take it.
So it is kind of forced to take Boat if the boat's in play.
And then I got a Wayfinder. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take this. And then I will just play. Yeah, I got another clue.
Well, not yet. You got to play the land.
Oh, yeah, of course. I just want to check my Delirium count here,
I think you're up to 6 because of the Planeswalker.
Planeswalker, land, creature, enchantment, sorcery, instant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 6.
You're getting
11,
kind
12.
of close to Emrakul.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do the math on is can I Emrakul next turn if I were to get lucky?
You need Artifact, and I think you brought out the Ballista.
I think you're right. So I'm going to play that land, get a clue, and pass to you.
Okay. Oh, crack a clue on your end step.
I feel doomed here.
Really just want
so
a
doomed.
5th land, though I guess a Ballista kills you because of Inofensa.
Yep.
So that would also be good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
I
bad.
would accept.
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, not getting a 5th land, I think, is like my only hope here. Just Yorion or Boat is just devastating. All right.
Only found a land.
Okay. We're in trouble.
And I don't think I want to attack with anything other than Heliod. I think I just want a Yorion here. I guess I could just Boat, kill this, and then get in with everything. You chump here, you take 6, you go to 5. And then what are you going to cast? Are you just going to cast Hostage Taker on the Boat? And have another 2-mana play, even if it's like Decay on this. I can make this a creature before blocks and force you to chump it. Okay, I actually like that play. Yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't going to do that, I was going to slap you. That
Yeah.
play is so good right now.
Yeah, you're just under so much pressure.
Yeah.
So
My hand's forced here, so 3,
you
4,
take
5, 6, down to 5.
pass the turn.
I don't think I have an out at this point. Boat. Okay, so I guess that does that keep me alive? I guess it does. It's not great, of course, but I'm gonna sack this and Hostage Taker and Jace. And if you have anything, you win. Pass to you.
You're at 5.
Yeah,
So this Baffling End of my hand is good enough.
that's probably good enough. Yeah.
Baffling End of Jace, you block Heliod, and
Yep.
take 6.
And you get a boat back. So I was one turn away from Emrakul, but you know, you were actually just fast enough with Anafenza, and you know, I just didn't have a way to catch up. And you have all these little things you're gaining value. This feels like a rough matchup. That's for sure.
Yeah, so far I've been really impressed with this deck.
That deck looks awesome.
I thought that decks with good disruption for the combo would be good against it.
Yeah.
And I've had some success against it with Bant, but
Yeah.
it feels close. And the Bant deck has ECD
Yeah.
and Baffling End and Teferi's, a lot better answers. It just doesn't interact at instant speed.
Yeah.
And I was so far the instant speed of your interaction hasn't really been relevant because a lot of your cheap removal just isn't nearly as good.
Yeah.
Like Fatal Push, I don't really care if you kill early Thraben Inspectors and Anafenzas. Like eventually we're just gonna get to the things that matter. So you really want all your removal to be dealing with the important things. And the Bant deck also has Supreme Verdict. So that's what cleans up all the little stuff.
You know what I am just picturing, though, just being a dominant force in Pioneer right now? And what I am definitely going to play moving forward? Just that Jeskai Fires list. Jeskai Fires, just having all the Planeswalkers gain advantage against that deck, plus ECD, plus Yorion. I think that seems like an awesome deck for the metagame right now. If we expect Sultai, if we expect this deck, you get to play a decent amount of Wrath and stuff for the Auras deck.
Verdict for Auras.
I know my deck in the challenges this weekend.
The Luris Burn decks might be tough for you.
Yeah, probably.
But
you have Interstellar Beacon and stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably not good enough, but you know.
Those decks have come down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not as popular as Auras by a pretty significant margin. So if that's where your bad matchup is, I think that's a reasonable place to be right now.
Yeah, that sounds like a sweet deck and just something that we had fun with on Versus Live, last week or the week before or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess good timing because if we were going to a third game, these things are grind fest, believe it or not. But honestly, that's what Magic is right now in a companion world. I have been yelling it from the rooftops that these are all mid-range cards. So mid-range is going to dominate. All the companions are built-in mid-range cards. So until we find answers to them in each format, until people adjust and either come up with a control deck that can control mid-range, which is hard to do in just modern-day Magic these days, because threats are so good, or if we can find an aggressive deck that can get under them, also tough to do, and then combo to go over the top. That's the only thing that's showing success against these companions so far.
Getting underneath is tougher because they have such consistency now.
Yeah.
There's a spot on their curve where they know they always have something to play.
Yep.
So they're able to, and they have more resources total, so they're able to mulligan more landlight hands. They are not flooding as often because they have more resources. They're not stumbling as often because they know they have a spot in their curve that's already filled. So they build their deck specifically to fill the other parts of the curve.
Exactly.
So they rarely miss those. So you're just not capitalizing on stumbles as an aggressive deck as much as you were because of these companions. They just
and the London Mulligan. I mean, that has a big factor with it too. You know, I mean, so aggressive decks just have not been the rules changes and the new mechanics and stuff has not been friendly to aggro here. But
the ones we've been seeing having success are really synergy driven, especially in Pioneers, Auras. You know, Luris Burn. Is just ending the game and not really concerned with its creatures.
All these feathers type boggles things. The thing that says like, oh, you're drawing 4 extra cards than me. That's cute. You're dead.
Yeah, deal you 12.
Exactly.
And, like, you know, counter your removal spell.
Yeah. So we're not seeing mono red that just like plays fast stuff, but it still kills turn 5 or whatever because everything's interacting so well. But we are seeing, you know, these exact kind of combo bogglesies type deck. You know, this is a perfect home for like Maria. You know, she loves boggles. So, yeah, I mean, impressive showing from that deck. That deck looked awesome. It makes sense why I went 1-2.
It is, yeah, no, you look at it on paper and you're like, it's playing Charming Prince and like Knight of the White Orchid and like all these bad 2-drops to enable the devotion. But then when you just see it in action, it is really impressive because it's able to play basically every facet. Like it can be an aggro deck, it can be a control like mid-rangey deck, and grind. And it can be a combo deck. Yeah. And it makes it so hard to play against.
So hard to sideboard against. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're looking at a deck on paper, you're often thinking like about playing it. And you're like, I'm playing these cards and you don't feel great about casting them. Yeah. But when you look at this deck, you really have to think from the perspective of the other side of the table. Yeah. Because your opponent is always deathly afraid of dying. So they're like using their removal aggressively. And so you're able to sequence your cards like, okay, which things do I want them to kill? And I'll play those and then they'll kill those. And then I'll play more important stuff and they'll probably run out of removal. And then I'll gain value with the Yorion. And then they're forced to use their extra disruption and then I'll combo them. Yeah. And that kind of pattern plays out way more often than you would think.
It's so true. It is so true. It's a very tough deck to play against. And I have been one of the biggest haters on these Heliod decks in the past, but this version looks a lot better to me. It really has some longevity, and maybe the metagame is shifting in such a way where it's slowing down, and you're able to take advantage of it. And you know what? If we're not seeing a lot of Inverter, I think that is a big deal too. Moving forward. So, all right, that is going to do it for round number 2. We have Modern coming up now, where I am going to once again just try a very cool new strategy. I'm going to try to play with Yorion. I'm going to be playing Temur Erosa, which Temur Erosa with Yorion went 1-2 in the Modern challenge this last weekend too.
Who was the one?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
I think you're getting the phrase wrong. It's nobody who remembers who comes in second.
Oh, that's
Everybody
true.
remember it was Dylan Donegan who won.
It was Dylan Donegan.
Nobody remembers who came in
the
second. king
of Temur Erosa. You know what? Just really showing dominance over, all other SCG teams. There was a lackluster BCW player that took second. So it's really showing that Lotus Box is doing much better work than BCW. All right, but we are going to shift to that. We are going to take a short 7-minute break to switch over some cards, and then we'll be back for our third and final round playing for
the marbles.
The marbles. See you there.